Hello everybody, welcome to a new chapter, nervous system. Objective of today's class is to explain central nervous system, peripheral nervous system and autonomic nervous system. In the same way, another objective is to define neuron, it is also called nerve cell, and explain its type. We have different body system in our body like digestive system, circulatory system, muscular system, and each body system has different function. In the same way, we have one of the main body system in our body which we are going to discuss today, that is nervous system. So if we see in our surrounding, then our surrounding keeps on changing, and with the changing environment we have to adjust our body, and to adjust the body this nervous system will act. For that, what does our nervous system does is it control and coordinate our activities along with the environment. That is why body system related to control and coordinate the activities of human body with the changing environment is known as nervous system. For example, if you feel cold, then you start shivering. Similarly, if you feel hot, then you start sweating. So what your body has done, your body has changed the activities according to the changing environment. And how it was possible? It was possible because of nervous system. And nervous system is divided into three parts: central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, and autonomic nervous system. Now we are going to explain each type of nervous system. Central nervous system, it is composed of brain and spinal cord, which is extending from the lower part of brain till the end of backbone. And these two parts, they are lying at the central part of brain. That's why this body system is also called central nervous system. And if we talk about brain, then brain is among the whole nervous system. Brain is the largest and uppermost part of the nervous system, and it is located inside the cranium. It is also called brain box, and it protects the brain from external injury. And not only that, it is also protected by three membranes, very thin membrane. They are called dura mater. The outermost is called dura mater. The middle is called arachnoid mater, and the innermost is called pia mater. So there are three membranes, and these three membranes are collectively called meninges. And if you see properly, then between the arachnoid matter and the pia mater, see, pia mater is the innermost layer which is connected to the brain. And there you can see a space, and this space is filled by a fluid known as cerebrospinal fluid. And what does it do? It also protects the brain from injury. If we go to different parts of brain, then our brain is basically divided into three parts. The largest part of the brain is called cerebrum, and this posterior part of brain is called cerebellum, and this brain stem, this part of the brain is called medulla oblongata. So in general, brain is divided into three parts. Now among these three parts, cerebrum, it is the largest part of brain, and it occupies almost 80% of total brain, and that's why it is also called big brain. And if you see cerebrum, then it is divided into two parts, right and left cerebral hemisphere, by the fissure. Here you can see a fissure, and this fissure is dividing the whole cerebrum into two hemisphere, right hemisphere and left cerebral hemisphere. Though it is not given in your syllabus, but let me give you one extra information about cerebral hemisphere is this hemisphere controls opposite half part of body. That means right cerebral hemisphere controls your left half part of body, and then this left cerebral hemisphere controls opposite right part of body. That means if this part of brain is damaged, then it will affect your left part of the body, means your left part of body will be paralyzed. Similarly, if the left hemisphere is damaged, then your right part of the body is damaged. So they control opposite half part of body. For example, some person is righty and some person is lefty. So that is all because of which part of the brain is more active. Suppose if left part of your brain is active, then you are righty, and if right part of the brain is active, then you are lefty. And if you see here, then you can see large number of groups and regions, and this makes convolutions, and these convolutions helps to increase the surface area of our brain. The outer part of this brain is gray matter, which is made up of dendrites that we'll discuss later. And the inner part of the brain, if you cut inside, then you will see white part, and that white part is called white matter. So its outer part is gray matter made up of dendrites. The dendrite is the part of nerve cell, and the inner part of this part of brain is white matter, which is made up of action of nerve cell. And function is, it is the center of mental abilities, like thinking, what we think, how we learn, how we memorize, how we give logical answer, our intelligence, that is all controlled by this part of brain. Similarly, our emotions like love, admiration, hate, all these are controlled by this part of brain. And similarly, it also controls our perception, anger, mood, taste, pain, stress, etc. And not only that, since it is the largest part of brain, it controls functions of other parts of brain too. And if this part of brain is damaged, then a person goes to coma means it is somehow near to in the state of death. Cerebellum, the cerebellum, it is also known as small brain, and it lies posterior means behind of cerebrum, and above the medulla oblongata. This part is called medulla oblongata. Above the medulla oblongata and posterior to cerebrum, this cerebellum is located. And like cerebrum, its outer part is gray matter, and inside part is white matter. And function is, it is related to a balance of body. That means it coordinates and controls our voluntary body movements. Suppose you walk, you jump, that is all controlled by this part of brain. And it maintains our balance and equilibrium of body. So it means you can walk by balancing your body because of this part of brain. And it maintains muscle tone, means coordinate the muscles. Now if this part of body is injured, then a person will lose the balance of the body and then cannot show the voluntary movement, and because of that the person becomes disabled. That is why the drunk person, the alcohol will affect this part of brain. Because of that, person loses coordination among the muscles and he cannot walk properly. Medulla oblongata, the posterior part of brain, and it is cylindrical in shape, means like pipe. It is like, here you can see it is like pipe. And medulla oblongata, it continues downward as a spinal cord, and like other parts of brain, it is two, outer gray matter and inner part is white matter. And it is, though it is very small part of the brain, but it has got very vital function. uh, the reason is that it mostly regulates involuntary actions of the body, like sneezing, vomiting, coughing, swallowing of food, breathing, heartbeat, blood pressure. Similarly, it also controls the activities of our food pipe, alimentary canal, such as peristalsis movement. Peristalsis movement means whenever you swallow the food, and that food has to move through the alimentary canal, and for that the wall of alimentary canal, it contracts and expands alternately, and that movement of wall of alimentary canal is called peristalsis movement. and this is also controlled by medulla oblongata, and secretion of digestive juice for the digestion of food and hormone. So since it has got vital functions in our body, so if a person like medulla oblongata is injured, then person dies instantly. That means if cerebrum is damaged, then person goes to coma. If cerebellum is damaged, then person loses balance of his body, means that person will be disabled. But if the medulla oblongata is damaged, then person dies instantly. That means it is very, very vital. Now let's go to another part of central nervous system, that is spinal cord. You can see here, and it is found inside the neural canal. Neural canal means this is a vertebral column, and inside the vertebral canal you can see one small tube, hollow tube, and that hollow tube is called neural canal. And through that neural canal, the spinal cord will extend up to the this part of vertebra called lumbar vertebra. Lumbar vertebra is the vertebra part of vertebra which is just behind our abdomen. So it extends from medulla oblongata, means from here till lumbar vertebra, and it is just its composition is just opposite to brain. If you remember, brain outer part is made up of gray matter, and inner part is made of white matter. Whereas in spinal cord, it is just opposite. Its outer part is made up of white matter, and inner part is gray matter. And like brain, it is also covered by meninges and cerebrospinal fluid. And spinal cord, it controls one very important process of our body, that is reflex action. So reflex action is an involuntary but automatic activity that occurs in our body, which is controlled by spinal cord. There is no any control of brain on this activity. And you may be asked, what is reflex action? As I told you, reflex action is an involuntary and automatic activity that occurs in our body. Like example, if you touch a hot object, then what you do, you immediately remove your hand from there. So here you are showing involuntary plus automatic. You didn't plan that you will remove the hand. So such activity is called reflex action, and such action is controlled by spinal cord. Similarly, another example is, suppose you're walking and you stepped on, let's say, on spine, on throne. So what you do, you immediately lift your leg. So that is also reflex action, because it is also involuntary plus automatic activity of your body. Similarly, if a dust try to enter into eyes, what you do, you close your eyes. That is also a reflex action. So such all the actions which are automatic plus involuntary, such actions are called reflex action, and it is all controlled by the spinal cord. There is no any role of brain. And also it acts as a bridge to relay the message between brain and different parts of the body through by the nerves. So if spinal cord is injured or got disease, then what happens is the part from where the spinal cord is damaged, from that part just below part of the body is all paralyzed. Suppose if a person's spinal cord is damaged here because of accident or because of injury or because of disease, then just the lower part, means from here the legs, hands, nothing will move. But if person's spinal cord is damaged here, then what happens? His hands can move, but from here the lower part, means what? Legs will not be uh, moving, means it is all get paralyzed. And such disease is known as spinal injury, and it is also kind of disability. Nerve cell or neuron, uh, it is the smallest unit of nervous system, and it consists of, if you see the nerve cell, normally when you imagine cell, then in your junior classes what you have learned, no, cell means it is spherical in shape, having nucleus at the center like that. But nerve cell is not like that. It is somehow like a thread-like structure, and it consists of three distinct parts. This part is called cell body, and from the cell body, two kinds of branches are arising. Short branches, they are called dendrites, and one long branch, it is called axon. And the cell body is having one distinct nucleus along with the cytoplasm. And here, let's go to the function of dendrites and axon. So, like such nerve cell, they all are interconnected to each other. So, what they do is the axon of one nerve cell is connected to dendrite of another nerve cell. So, in this way, it makes one long thread of nerve fibers. So, here, the dendrites, it collects the impulses or messages from the another nerve cell. So, it collects, it brings in impulses into cell body. All the dendrites, these dendrites are connected to action of another nerve cell. So what does it do? It will bring the impulses from the outside into the cell body, and whatever the impulses are stored here, it is taken away by the action, and this action is connected to dendrite of another nerve cell. So in that way, the impulses are passed from one nerve cell to another nerve cell. And this action, when there's a lot of action, then this collection of action is called nerve fiber. And according to the function, there are three types of nerve cells: sensory nerve, motor nerve, and interneuron. So let's go one by one. Sensory nerve means this nerve is connected to sense organ like skin, eyes, tongue, okay, so all our sense organ. And what does it do is that that nerve will take the impulses means messages from your sense organ to the brain or spinal cord. So it collects the impulses from your sense organ, and that will be taken to your brain or spinal cord. That is called sensory nerve. So here, this is the figure of sensory nerve. So see, it is connected to receptor cell. Receptor cell is the cell of sense organ. So if suppose this is the skin cell, so if somebody touches a skin, then what will happen? This receptor cell is supplied with the nerves, so it will take that impulses from the receptor cell, and then it will finally take to the brain and spinal cord. And here what happens is dendrites are long, these are the dendrites, and action is comparatively shorter than other type of neuron. Now let's go to another nerve, motor neuron or efferent neuron, and it just does opposite of sensory nerve. So here what is happening, it is taking to brain or spinal cord, it is taking the impulses into brain or spinal cord, whereas what does the motor nerve does is it takes away the impulses from brain or spinal cord to the muscles or glands. It is collectively called effectors. So here the message or impulses are carried from brain or spinal cord to muscles or glands. So opposite of sensory nerve. Now finally, interneuron. So interneuron, so it is the neuron which connects sensory neuron and motor neuron. And what does it do is it converts sensory impulses to motor impulses. Now let's go to another nervous system, that is peripheral. Here, brain and spinal cord, they compose to form central nervous system. And if you see the body, then these two parts of the nervous system, they lie in the central part of the body. That's why it is called central nervous system. Now peripheral means it is all composed of nerves. So you can see a nerves, these all are the nerves. So see where they are spread to the peripheral part of the body. So since it is spread to the whole body, that's why its name is peripheral nervous system. And this nervous system is composed of nerves. And there are two types of nerves in peripheral nervous system according to their origin. So there are two types of nerves according to origin, and those nerves which originate from the brain, they are known as cranial nerves. They are cranial nerves, and these nerves are 12 pairs in human. Every species has different number of cranial nerves. In human, there are 12 pairs of cranial nerves, and what they do is these nerves connect different organs present in the head, Like our head has many organs like ear, eyes, nose, tongue, like that. So what does it do? It will connect, these nerves connect to different organs present in the head. Now this is the spinal cord, and those nerves which are originating from spinal cord, those nerves are called spinal nerves. And in human there are 31 pairs, means 31 this side, 31 other side, so it will total make 31 pairs. And these nerves are spread to whole body. Now if you want to compare the flow of like impulses through the nerves, then you can compare with the flow of current, electric current. Electric current flows in the speed of 1,50,000 kilometer per second in wire. That means in 1 second, current can flow 1,50,000 kilometer. In the same way, our impulses through the nerve, in 1 second, it can travel 100 meter in nerve. So means it is not so less. It is very fast. In 1 second, no, in nerves, impulse can travel 100 meter. Okay, this was about peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system is composed of nerves, and there are two types of nerves according to origin: cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Similarly, if we see the spinal cord, on the side of spinal cords, you can see the mass of nervous tissue, and those mass of nervous tissue are called ganglia. So, what is the definition? You can check: a group of nervous tissue made up of gray matter. If you remember, the gray matter, it is formed by the dendrites of nerve cell that is found near the spinal cord. That is called ganglia, and singular form of ganglia is called ganglion. And these ganglia connect with the brain and spinal cord. They are connected to brain and spinal cord. Autonomic nervous system. This is the last type of nervous system. So, as name suggests, this nervous system controls actions of our internal organs like gut, heart, lungs, kidneys, ureter, etc. automatically, whether we are asleep or awake. In both situations, this nervous system controls our internal organs, and it is all autonomic, means we do not control it. And autonomic nervous system is composed of ganglia. Just before we discuss about ganglia, so it is composed of ganglia. And autonomic nervous system is of two types. One is sympathetic nervous system, and another is parasympathetic nervous system. And these two nervous system, they work antagonistically. Antagonistically means just opposite to each other. Like you can see, what does the sympathetic nervous system does is it prepares the body to protect from effects of injury during emergency. Suppose you face some injury, then what? Suppose you face emergency, then what does our body do? That our body prepares our body to face that emergency. So for that, what happens? Your heartbeat increases, blood pressure increases, your pupil will dilate, your breathing rate increases, and even blood sugar also will increase in your blood. So these are the sympathetic nervous system function. So it prepares the body to face the emergency. Okay, like suppose if a person is going for an interview, then before interview, what happens to that person? That person gets nervous. His heartbeat is more very high. Maybe he's sweating. So these all are due to sympathetic nervous system. Now there is another nervous system, that is parasympathetic nervous system. What does it do? It just works opposite to sympathetic nervous system. That means it brings body to normal state. Here it was preparing the body. Here it brings the body to normal state by activating those all the organs. Like example, guts, it will start digestion. Heartbeat will be slowing down. Blood pressure will decrease, and even blood sugar also will decrease. So here you can compare sympathetic, it dilates pupil, okay, but here it contracts pupil. Here saliva production will stop when sympathetic nervous system will increase, so your mouth gets dry. So here what will happen? Your saliva production will increase. So they work opposite to each other. So in nutshell, what we can say is sympathetic nervous system prepares the body to face emergency. For that, our body changes in various ways, and parasympathetic nervous system helps to bring our body in normal situation. So this is about parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. With this, thank you so much.